Good morning to all. Today I shall discuss our ancient thoughts on groundwater. Our universe is consisted of five elements. These are soil, water, fire, air, and ether. We all heard that our human body is consisted of these five elements. These are all coexistent elements. Water exists in all these elements either direct or indirect form. In soil also, water is there as soil moisture. In plants also water is there. In sky also water is there. In air also water is there. But only form is different. Not in direct form, but in indirect form. These are everywhere available. One gentleman asked me one question: how can soil is available in air? Well, I smilingly replied him, in the form of dust. So these are coexistent elements. You see, no life is possible in this universe without these five basic elements. Water, the basic need of all lives. It is precious and it is an unavoidable limb of human civilization. A plant can survive for few days without taking water from earth. But a man or an animal cannot live without water. So it is for human civilization, it is more precious than other creation. In ancient time, all civilizations have been developed in the bank of river. Our ancient Indus Valley civilization also flourished at the bank of Indus River. Formerly, in ancient time, this Indus River was known as Sindhu River. In Persians, they say it as Hind River, from where our Hindustan is derived, and Roman named as Indus. Some historian prefer to say as Sindh River belongs to Dravidian word Sindh River. The Sindh word is Dravidian word. So, namely, people of South India, they said it was Sindh River. However, Indus Valley civilization was the oldest civilization of all other civilizations, like civilization of Egypt, Mesopotamia, etc. The basic advantage behind this river valley civilization are mainly during that time agriculture was only means of livelihood and there was no other road communication or railway etc. Only riverine roads are best suited for transport of materials and man also used like boats, ships, etc. And water had multiple uses like drinking, cooking, agriculture, for animals also water is essential, especially for domestic animals. So, all civilizations are flourished at the river bank. Our ancient scriptures depicted the importance of ice melt water only, mainly due to no chances of presence of impurity in ice. So ice melt water was pure water. It is directly in ice, no germs etc. cannot exist. So ice melt water is good water, pure water. In the Tetrayug means Ramayana age, when Ramchandra was there, Ravan was there, during that age, King Bhagirath was forefather of Sri Ram, had brought the river Ganga from heaven. So it was said in ancient scriptures that Ganga was stayed with Lord Brahma, who was staying at heaven. So definitely, in my opinion, it is coming from ice cover of Himalaya, huge ice cover of Himalaya. Ganga was originated from Himalayan top. And King Bhagirath may perhaps made some channels or some arrangement for free flowing of Ganga from Himalaya. It was also said that the Ganga was coming from heaven, so it was coming from the Kamandalu of Lord Brahma at a high speed, so it had to be resisted. So Lord Shiv, Ganga will fall at Jata. There's some hair accumulation during that time. Perhaps there was no barba, or maybe Shiv maybe some protected from cold and other phenomenon, maybe whatever it may be, he made his whole hair, and it is called Jata. It is also believed that Shiv was resided at Kailash. Kailash is a mountain peak of lower altitude of Himalayan range. The top is Mount Everest, then is Kailash. So, from Kailash, Ganga from heaven. From heaven it is is flowing down from heaven to Shiv Jata at Kailash at a very high speed. After reaching Kailash, its speed is reduced to a high extent. So the river is also known as Bhagirathi. Since King Bhagirath was initiating of flowing down from heaven to earth, so it is called Bhagirathi. In my opinion, Bhagirath had went on foot up to the hilltop and had some work there for channelization of the river Ganga has a major role in Hindi rituals today even. This is the picture you see from Shiv. It is Shiv Jata. This water is coming from heaven and falls at this Shiv head, and it is gradually this energy is dissipated and velocity becoming less. And Bhagirath is praying Lord Shiv to hold the Ganga in his head to avoid huge destruction on earth. In another story of same period of this Tetrayug, had claimed that Guru Parashuram sectioned a big rock mass for a free flowing of river Lohita. Present name is Lohit river in Arunachal Pradesh, with his big axe. The story was described in such a way the Bhagiratha using this Parashuram beheaded his mother with his axe as per directives of his father, and the axe stuck to his hand. So after a long time, he asked his father how it can be removed. Then his father suggested that you go some water pond is there where it is. If you can break the rock and if you can allow to flow this water, then your axe automatically will be uncaged. So he did this work. It looks like someone had divided in the picture. This is the picture, you see, this is the picture. This is the big rock. Here it is rock, here it is also a rock. This rock is someone has divided with very make it large section of this rock mass, and the surface of rock is not smooth. You see, the surface of rock is not smooth. Maybe some petrological phenomenon also, maybe some soft materials were there which was washed away by the erosion due to weathering effect of this water velocity. However, it appears like it is someone had sectioned the big rock body forcibly, and all surfaces are not smooth. This place is known as Parashuram Kund or Brahma Kund. It is now a religious place. There is a temple also, Parashuram temple also there, and it was believed that if one can dip in this kund, his all sins, he will be free from all his sins. Of course, I am not. I had visited 2-3 times there, but I could not dip there. I thought I do not have make any kind of sin. I am not sinner. It is also, I want to add here also the Lohit, Siang and Dibang. These three main rivers met together at downstream of Dibru Patkai Reserve near Sodia city, where from it is known as river Brahmaputra, the only male river of India. Brahma Putra. Brahma means Lord Brahma. Putra is a Sanskrit word, means son. So Brahmaputra is known as, this river is known as son of Brahmaputra. Not that Ganga is female river, Kaveri is female river, Tista is female river, Saraswati is female river, but the Brahmaputra is only male river of India. This is the Luit river, this is the Parashuram Kund. This is the staircase to going down at the river bed. Our earth crust is a vast reservoir for storage of huge amount of water, about 40 million cubic kilometer in the saturated and unconsolidated zone of lithosphere, approximately extending up to 800 meter below. Somewhere it is 800 meters, somewhere it is 100 meters, somewhere it is 50 meters, but it is maximum, it is extending up to 800 meters. It is a huge amount of saturated and unconsolidated zone where 40 million cubic kilometer water can easily be stored. This huge quantity of water is about 30 times of total potable fresh surface water and half of the total ice water of the polar region and hilly ranges. In India, total annual precipitation is estimated at around 400 hectare meter. 400 million hectare meter. 1 hectare meter equal to 10,000 cubic meter. So this much rainfall you received annually. It is considering average rainfall of 120 centimeter. Out of this 40 million hectare meter of water, 80 million hectare meter of water goes directly into the saturated aquifer as recharge. More than 120 million hectare meter of water is normally lost in evaporation. Out of this discharge, about 30 million hectare meter is absorbed by topsoil stratum, and this contributing purged water, which purged water practically remain as soil moisture to support plants kingdom. Presently, only about 25 million hectare meter of water so far been extracted from groundwater reserves for irrigation and other uses. Groundwater can be used at a low cost investment as potable water sources without any major investment for purification and chemical treatment. Further, groundwater of confined saturated zone, except purged or subsoil water, is throughout the year almost remain unchangeable state. Normally there are two water, one is purged water level, another is groundwater level. Groundwater level is unchanged. Throughout the year it is at same level. But the purged water level is depending upon the situation, climatic effect and uses. The worldwide accepted theory of tapping groundwater from saturated confined aquifer had originally been developed by Maharishi Vyasdev during Dwapar Yuga in Mahabharata age, about 10,000 years ago. Some historians say that it is 5,000 years, some historians say that it is 20,000, some had opinion it is more than 750,000 or so. However, 10,000 years is considered. The groundwater available in confined saturated aquifer. Confined saturated aquifer means below perfect impervious deposit, both top and bottom of the aquifer confined by perfect impervious material. Both top and bottom are covered by impervious material. Normally, at the top of this aquifer, impervious deposit like soil, impervious deposit of soil is normally noticed, and below the aquifer, normally bedrock is there without any joints and fractures. So no water shall remain intact throughout the year. This groundwater of confined saturated aquifer had been termed as Ganga Jal, pure water. Vyasdev had a concept of ice melt water as a good quality potable water during the Mahabharata age. Ganga Jal, you see Ganga Jal. Ganga Jal, the bath in holy Ganga bath. Ganga Jal, especially in our India, more or less everyone know about the use of Ganga Jal. For every rituals, Ganga Jal is essential. Nowadays available in market also. In small bottle it is available. In all rituals, from funeral to Jagga, Ganga Jal is essential. Ganga Jal, since Ganga is ice melt water, so it is pure water. It is considered as pure water. There is another story. As I told, this groundwater concept was initiated by Maharshi Vyasdeva. In Mahabharata battle, when Pitamaha Bhishma was the grandfather of both Pandav and Kaurav. So when he was lying in bed of arrows, he felt some thirst and he asked Arjuna to give him some water. So Arjuna penetrate a sharp arrow underground, and automatically water is coming out with pressure, and Pitamaha Bhishma is drinking this water. It was clearly stated in Mahabharata, and the second oldest scripture of India. Pitamaha Bhishma had able to quench his 10,000 years old thirst after drinking the groundwater supplied by Arjuna, penetrating with his sharp arrow. Prior to that, Maharshi Vyasdeva had earlier concentrated on interbasin water transfer of ice melt water sources. Carrying of Ganges, Ganga by Bhagirath and Brahmaputra by Parashuram were of such skilled technical demonstration during Aryan civilization, this is Indian civilization, Indus Valley civilization. However, Vyasdeva may perhaps had realized the large-scale pollution of surface water by suspended loads generally carried by the high velocity of flashy rivers of Himalayan origin. After Vyasdeva, no such specific use of groundwater had anywhere been noticed. Nowhere it is mentioned too. There is ample scope of imagination too. In the late 16th century, Ahom kings had paid a special attention to groundwater management. During 16th and 17th centuries, they used an unique technology for large-scale water uses utilizing groundwater of confined saturated zone. This site selection theory has not yet been confirmed with relevant factual proof. Reportedly, it is learned that they used some earthen lamps to detect the confined water bearing saturated zone, which is generally called confined aquifer or artesian aquifer zone. Whatsoever, this was an undoubtedly high sophisticated geophysical investigation method of super precision. Innumerable water bodies were constructed for a general and extensive water uses. Joysagar, Shivsagar, etc. are among the best and high-rated examples of groundwater development and water conservation during the time of Ahom rule. Joysagar, the biggest man-made water body of the world, covering a net wet area of 124.75 hectares, which is around 1,000,025 square meter, with an ever-standing pool of water about 13.5 meter above the original ground level, is a rare technological development and achievement in the groundwater history. Besides high-scale construction technology with a completion time of 45 days only for entire excavation and all sites embankment construction. I say they have calculated the height of water. Height of water. It is the water level of these water bodies, water tank, Joysagar. Sagar means ocean. Joy is name. Joysagar is 13.5 meter above the original ground level. It is based on artesian aquifer. Besides, there on the bottom of the excavation, they find some good aquifer, so that water is coming out, and besides all and everything, this water level remained always at same level, both in summer, winter, rain or monsoon. Anywhere weather, all water condition, it is same. So it is the greatest technological achievement of that day. And all historian states that this entire construction works are completed within 45 days. So much of excavation and construction of four-side high embankment, which is about 15 meter height, within 45 days only. The reason behind the high ponding level of water is not known till today. There was a belief that king, it was actually commonly known as Chargadev Rudra Singha. Rudra is his name. Singha had used to supply water from Joysagar to the royal places of Rangpur, Karenghar of Rangpur. Rangpur is one small place of Shivsagar district. Near Shivsagar town, there was Karenghar. Karenghar means royal place of Ahom king's royal place. For water supply for that purpose, royal place, this pond water was used by King Rudra Singha himself. This deserves a detailed and precise study on the subject. Till now, how they took the water from the tank, perhaps they are using this Jaisagar as a overhead reservoir, but there is no notice of any kind of canal or any kind of other structure is noticed. If it is underground nowadays, we do not know, but it needs proper study to the matter with a very precise and honestly. Later, Nazim of Hyderabad, Nazim actually ruler. Hyderabad is their headquarters. It is South Indian king of Hyderabad. In 19th century, made an interesting study on groundwater development and management in Deccan basaltic terrain. But his findings are not available. It was only history. It says that he have studied, he was trying, he was taking lot of initiative, because they are in southern India, in Deccan basaltic terrains, water crisis is there. So he studied the availability of groundwater. It is considered, in my personal opinion, it may be because because in southern India only drilling through rock with minimum cost had been developed by South India only. In central or North India, northeastern India, earlier do not used for such rock drilling for water sourcing operation. We are taking groundwater from alluvial aquifer only. But in South India, they have penetrating bedrock using some low-cost device, and they are tapping water from that rock bed itself. So, Nizam of Hyderabad may perhaps develop such type of technique, which later on modified and developed, and addition, alteration may be made, which is all through India is workable. Now in India, due to rapid population growth in the cities and towns and extreme surface water pollution by modern industrialization, the existing groundwater sources appears to be inadequate. By the end of 2030, that means another 10-15 years after, our expected groundwater extraction shall be more than 50 million hectares, which may surely produce tremendous effect in net water table drawdown, especially in urban areas. This unexpected drawdown may lead to a serious imbalance of purged water table. In case of such critical situation, the topsoil shall not support any plants and vegetations. So, now the basic problem, earlier the people of India normally used surface water from river water, canal water. This surface water they used for their own basic, to meet up their basic requirement, they use surface water. But because of industrialization and population explosion, the surface water considered unsuitable for basic purposes, basic uses. So, especially in cities and towns, what happened? We are mostly using groundwater. Nowadays, mostly using groundwater. And the rate of lowering of water table, considering the present use of water table, if we go for 50 million hectare water, this may produce tremendous effect in water table drawdown. If such happen, in case of drawdown of water, the topsoil shall be dry enough, almost dry, which shall not support any plants and vegetations. So, recycling of used water and rainwater harvesting, which is commonly known as water conservation, is the only solution to maintain our purged water table, to protect our plant kingdom. Without protecting, we cannot grow. For protection of our earth, if our earth is full of plants kingdom, then only human or animal can survive. Without plants, no one can survive. If we remove all plants all over the world, say our earth, on a sudden day our earth, all plants are removed from our earth, then no human, no animal, no life can exist. So we should protect our groundwater table to support our plants kingdom as well as for human growth and survival. Thank you all. This was, originally it was a technical study, and I had presented one technical paper also, which was a very long technical paper. After editing, as a message to our Indian people, my earnest attempt to encourage people of India to save water, conserve water, save groundwater, save our plant, and save our earth. It is my basic aim to save our earth with, and if we cannot save water, our earth shall not exist. Earth means in solar system there shall be earth, but practically this earth, the present earth, shall not be there, shall not remain so more. So my sincere request to everyone, we should try to save water. Surely water is essential. It is our life. We must save it, and we should think for tomorrow. If there will be no plant, there will be less rainfall. So water, a day will come where there will be no water at all. So let us save water, save our earth, save our life. Thank you. Please have a nice day. I am always available at jcgogoi@gmail.com. I am again saying jcgogoi@gmail.com. Please have a nice day.